In early 2000, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph flew to Dallas to meet with the CEO of Blockbuster. Netflix was bleeding cash, struggling with just 300,000 subscribers, and desperate for a lifeline. Their proposal was simple. Buy us for $50 million, and we will run your online business. At the time, Blockbuster was the undisputed king of entertainment, boasting 9,000 physical stores and generating $6 billion in annual revenue. So, when Netflix asked for $50 million, the executives literally laughed them out of the room. They saw Netflix as a tiny, unprofitable niche. It was the most expensive no in business history. Just 10 years later, Netflix was worth $13 billion, and Blockbuster filed for total bankruptcy. The company that laughed ceased to exist. How did a struggling mail delivery service assassinate a $6 billion empire? Today, on Tech Valuation, we go inside the fatal profit models, the aggressive cloud migration, and the chaotic engineering that built Netflix. To understand why Blockbuster failed, you have to understand how they made their money. In the late 90s, their business model was beautifully profitable, but completely toxic. Customers paid a few dollars for a movie, but the real cash cow was punishment. Late fees generated a staggering 16% of Blockbuster's total revenue. That is nearly $800 million a year. Purely from customers forgetting to return their movies on time, Netflix realized that people absolutely hated this. So, they built a subscription model with zero late fees, keeping DVDs as long as you wanted. Blockbuster was trapped by their own success. If they eliminated late fees to compete with Netflix, they would instantly lose $800 million in revenue. Wall Street would panic, the stock would crash, and management would be fired. Eliminating late fees was corporate suicide. Furthermore, Blockbuster was weighed down by 9,000 physical stores and massive lease commitments. Promoting digital delivery meant cannibalizing their own foot traffic. Netflix had no stores, no leases, and no conflicting priorities. They had a decisive greenfield advantage, and they were preparing to pivot. By 2007, Netflix had successfully crippled Blockbuster in the DVD market. But Reed Hastings knew that shipping plastic discs through the mail was a dying business. Internet speeds were finally fast enough for video. So, Netflix made one of the riskiest pivots in tech history. They launched streaming, delivering high-quality video across the internet to millions of homes simultaneously. Required an unimaginable amount of computing power. Building physical data centers would cost billions and slow them down. So, in 2010, Netflix decided to completely abandon their own hardware and migrate entirely to the cloud. They struck a massive deal with Amazon Web Services. This was unprecedented. Amazon was technically a competitor, but AWS provided the raw infrastructure Netflix needed to scale globally. Overnight, however, moving to the cloud introduced a terrifying new problem. In the cloud, Netflix didn't own the servers. Virtual instances could be terminated or replaced by Amazon at any second. If a single server failed, it could trigger a catastrophic chain reaction, taking down the entire streaming platform for millions of users. Netflix needed their code to survive in an inherently unstable environment. To solve this, Netflix engineers did something utterly insane. Instead of trying to prevent failures, they built a custom tool designed to intentionally destroy their own systems. In 2010, they unleashed a piece of code called Chaos Monkey. Chaos Monkey was a program that roamed through Netflix's live production servers during normal working hours and randomly terminated virtual machines. It literally broke things on purpose by constantly shutting down active servers. It forced Netflix developers to design software that was hyper-resilient, capable of instantly rerouting traffic without the user ever noticing. It was a massive success. In 2011, Netflix expanded the concept into an entire suite of destructive tools known as the Simian Army. They built Latency Monkey to simulate massive network lag, and Chaos Kang, which randomly killed entire global data center regions. This jump-started a brand new software discipline called chaos engineering. By weaponizing cloud infrastructure and intentionally attacking themselves, Netflix built a streaming engine that could not be killed. This flawless technical foundation allowed them to focus on their final evolution, spending tens of billions of dollars to become the largest original content studio in Hollywood history. Blockbuster laughed because they measured the future using their current profit models. Netflix won because they were willing to cannibalize their own product, abandon their own hardware, and unleash chaos on their own servers, just to build a stronger empire. If you want to understand how deep system architecture dictates billion-dollar valuations, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching Tech Valuation, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.